Hey everybody, this is Central Bird, and in this video I'm going to show some in-progress stuff for the Average shaders that involve dynamic scaling of the ray tracing quality. If you didn't see the last video, the debug view is to explain at the bottom left is a ray tracing happening on this frame. The middle left is an upscaled version, and the top left is an upscaled and denoised version. And then on the right now, the blue is our frame time, the cyan is our smooth frame time. The green is our FPS out of hitting the goal. So it's at the top, we're at our goal FPS, which I set to 60 for this. And I'd set the rest of the settings somewhere to kind of make it struggle on and off, so this should be dynamic. And then the red is the quality of the ray tracing, with the bottom being horrible, and it's at the lowest it's allowed right now at the cap. And then at the top would be full. So you can see, looking at the lighting debug view and at the scene, with the there's some good quality going on. We've even got, like, in palm, there is dynamic lighting from the scene. And when I turn the camera, it's much more responsive than it was before. It catches what was off screen really good. But stuffers right now, the denoising with really rough textures like cobblestone, where there's a lot of difference. But it's maintaining a lot more detail than it was before. You see as the quality gauge goes up too. It maintains a lot more of the detail on the floor, but we're getting that noise in the bottom left portion of the screen that's going about halfway up, where it's just being staticky. Let's look at some other scenes and look underground. And all of that lighting that you see in the scene, besides sunlight, is being purely ray traced. So everything you see on the left there, everything applied to the scene now, is purely ray traced lighting. And you can see that it is very quickly filling the scene. Those blank areas when you turn are pretty much gone. And at the resolution scaling, you can see with that red bar moving to keep our FPS goal being hit, that green line being full. That's having 60 FPS. It's dynamically adjusting how many pixels per ray, or rays per pixel, or whatever you want to call it. And it's doing basically a dynamic amount of quality with a response of within a single frame to maintain us over that green. If I didn't know what to say, it does not work good yet on shiny things like metals and water. I need to adjust it. But you can see it's being very responsive. It's maintaining a lot of the norm maps. But it does have some bugs. Like I said, the shiny stuff. It suffers with glow lichen, where it will often put shadows between it and the wall. So I can catch that here. Not really catching it. And it suffers with some other stuff where it needs more work to it. But I'm really excited about this because it lets it maintain much more stable FPS. Even if you go from a scene that requires more ray tracing to one that requires less, it's not going to just instantly drop your frames and you walk into like a hall of mirrors. And I think generally the quality it's doing, even on that lower end, is still pretty good. If we look at the debug view, it's maintaining a pretty stable image, even though it's changing the input resolution and the ray tracing quality constantly. Let me see if I can find another spot to show it good and show it bad. Here's crystals. This is going to be horrible because, like I said, it does not do good on smooth surfaces yet. So when we move, it loses stuff into smears. But overall, I think it's generally competent and doing a pretty good job. And I think that once I finish working on it, it'll be an exceptional tool for just trying to maintain fluid FPS without having to tinker quite so much and having to go back in when you go to different scenes to be like, oh, my FPS are stuck right now. Because it's automatically going to make those adjustments to try to keep you at the goal. And I've got that lower limit set within the crap quality limits. Like here we go, suffering with the glow lichen. You can see where it's got those black spots. I'm pretty sure I could solve that by changing the sampling how it chooses like which rays to sample. But you see, it's generally doing a very good job in the responsiveness and filling in the gaps on things that were obscured. But overall, I think that it's doing a really good job. Like I said, it can pretty much double the FPS to do the denoising, so then I have it dynamically adjust to give you a higher quality than can handle it. And then lower quality than can't. I think is a good idea. And with the recursive reflections on, how heavy of a load there is can really change per scene, because it tries to really threshold out. I do less ray tracing when it doesn't have to. So you can see here it's trying to pump up the quality, and for some reason moving in this direction. So that's this video. I'm excited about it. Like you can see, it's not perfect. It's not always maintaining the FPS, but I think it's doing a pretty good job at trying.